We will look at the list of questions and answers that immigration officers at the Canadian entry point might ask you. This list is sorted by categories to help you get ready better. Workers. What is the purpose of your visit to Canada? I have a valid job offer from employer name, and I will be working as a job title in city province. Can you provide your employer's contact information? Sure. Here is the contact information for my employer. Employer's name, address, phone number, email. Have you obtained a valid work permit for your employment in Canada? Yes, I have obtained a valid work permit that allows me to work for employer name in city province. What is the duration of your work permit? My work permit is valid from start date to end date. Do you plan to bring any family members with you to Canada? No, I will be coming to Canada alone for work purposes. Visitors. How long do you intend to stay in Canada? I plan to stay in Canada for 2 weeks from entry date to exit date. Do you have a return ticket to your home country? Yes, I have a return ticket booked for return date. How will you financially support yourself during your stay? I have sufficient funds in my bank account and a valid credit card to cover my expenses while in Canada. Have you ever been to Canada before? No. This is my first visit to Canada. Travel history. Have you traveled to any other countries in the last 5 years? Yes, I have traveled to list of countries you've visited in the last 5 years for various reasons, including tourism and business. Have you ever been denied entry to Canada or any other country before? No. I have never been denied entry to Canada or any other country. Have you ever overstayed your authorized stay in Canada or any other country? No, I have always complied with the authorized periods of stay during my previous visits to Canada and other countries. Study and work. Can you provide your letter of acceptance from the educational institution? Yes, here is my letter of acceptance from name of educational institution. What is the duration of your study program and work permit? My study program is duration in months, years, and my work permit is valid from start date to end date. Can you demonstrate your ability to cover tuition and living expenses in Canada? Yes, I have sufficient funds in my bank account and a scholarship to cover my expenses while studying and working in Canada. How do you plan to balance your studies and work commitments in Canada? I have reviewed my study and work schedules and will ensure that I can manage my academic and work responsibilities effectively. Are you aware of the conditions and limitations of your study and work permits? Yes, I understand the conditions of my study and work permits, including restrictions on working hours and maintaining full-time student status. Do you have health insurance coverage for your stay in Canada? Yes, I have purchased comprehensive health insurance that covers medical expenses during my studies and work in Canada. Can you provide your letter of acceptance from the educational institution? Yes. Here is my letter of acceptance from name of educational institution. Students. What is the purpose of your visit to Canada? I will be studying at name of educational institution in city province pursuing a program course name. Can you show proof of acceptance from the educational institution? Yes, I have my letter of acceptance from name of educational institution. How long is the duration of your study program? My study program is duration in months, years, long. How will you financially support your studies and living expenses in Canada? My tuition and living expenses will be covered by my scholarship and personal savings. What are your plans after completing your studies in Canada? After completing my studies, I plan to apply for a post-graduation work permit and gain work experience in my field. Permanent residence. Can you present your valid permanent resident card or travel document? Yes. Here is my valid permanent resident card travel document. How long have you been living outside Canada? I have been living outside Canada for a number of months, years. Can you provide proof of your ties to Canada? Yes, I have maintained a Canadian address, have a job waiting for me, and my family resides in Canada. Have you met the residency obligations as a permanent resident? Yes, I have met the residency requirements by living in Canada for more than 730 days within the last 5 years. Are you familiar with the benefits and responsibilities of being a permanent resident? Yes, I understand that I have the right to live, work, or study anywhere in Canada and have access to social benefits. I am also aware of my responsibility to abide by Canadian laws. Can you present your valid permanent resident card or travel document? Yes, here is my valid permanent resident card travel document. Permanent residence. How long have you been living outside Canada? I have been living outside Canada for a number of months, years. Are you aware of the benefits and responsibilities of being a permanent resident? Yes, I understand that I have the right to live, work, or study anywhere in Canada and have access to social benefits. I am also aware of my responsibility to abide by Canadian laws. Medical history. Do you have any medical conditions that may require medical attention in Canada? No, I do not have any medical conditions that require immediate attention. Are you aware of the importance of having health insurance during your stay in Canada? Yes, I understand the importance of having health insurance to cover medical expenses in case of any unexpected medical situations. Have you ever been diagnosed with a contagious disease or a condition that may pose a public health risk? No, I have never been diagnosed with any contagious disease or condition that poses a public health risk. General knowledge. Are you aware of the requirements and conditions for your specific visa or permit category? Yes, I have thoroughly reviewed the requirements and conditions for my visa permit category and am prepared to comply with them during my stay in Canada. Are you aware of the COVID-19 travel and health requirements for entry to Canada? Yes, I am aware that there are specific COVID-19 testing and quarantine requirements for entry to Canada, and I have prepared accordingly. Are you aware that providing false information or documentation can result in serious consequences? Yes, I understand that providing false information or fraudulent documents can lead to being declared inadmissible to Canada and future travel bans. Do you have any questions or concerns about your entry to Canada or your visa permit conditions? No, I have thoroughly researched the entry requirements and conditions, and I am confident in my understanding. I am ready to comply with all necessary procedures. Financial means. Can you show proof of sufficient funds for your stay in Canada? Yes, I have bank statements and a letter from my sponsor showing that I have the financial means to cover my expenses while in Canada. Are the funds you are using for your stay in Canada readily accessible? Yes, the funds are in a bank account that I can access easily to cover my expenses while in Canada. Can you explain how you obtained the funds you're using for your stay in Canada? The funds are from my personal savings accumulated over the years from my employment and financial support from my family. Do you have a sponsor supporting your stay in Canada? Yes, my relationship with sponsor, for example, parents, are sponsoring my stay in Canada and have provided financial documentation to support this. Family members. Are you traveling with your spouse and children? Yes, I am traveling with my spouse, spouse's name, and number of children's names and ages. Can you provide proof of your relationship with your family members? Yes, I have marriage certificates and birth certificates for my spouse and children as proof of our relationship. Are your family members accompanying you eligible for dependent status in Canada? Yes, my spouse and children are eligible for dependent status, as they are financially dependent on me and will reside with me during my stay. Exit plans. Do you have clear plans for leaving Canada before your authorized stay expires? Yes, I have booked a return flight to home country on return date to ensure I leave Canada within the authorized period. What is the purpose of your travel to next destination after Canada? After leaving Canada, I will be traveling to next destination for a purpose of travel, for example, connecting flight, vacation, etc. Can you provide proof of your onward travel arrangements? Yes, I have my confirmed flight itinerary to next destination after Canada, showing that I will be departing Canada within the authorized period. Dependent status. Can you demonstrate that you have the financial means to support your family members during their stay in Canada? Yes, I have sufficient funds to support my family members' living expenses while they are in Canada. Will your family members also require study or work permits to engage in activities in Canada? My spouse will need an open work permit, and my children will need study permits if they plan to study in Canada. Are you aware of the requirements for renewing or extending your family members' permits? Yes. I understand that I need to apply for extensions or renewals for my family members' permits before they expire. Can you provide documentation of your family members' ties to your home country? Yes. I have documentation showing that my family members have strong ties to our home country and intend to return after their authorized stay in Canada.